with this panel here today, we have a vast amount of knowledge, experience of retail food, and more specifically, healthcare retail food. We've got 30 minutes. We have not a lot of time to get through. I'm going to ask questions to the panel on 3 to 4 areas. So we're going to look at the food offer, we're going to look at workforce, we're going to look at the physical space of that retail area, and we're going to look at the future of healthcare retail and what brand awareness and the part it can play in that. So let's dive straight in, as I want to give the panel as much time as possible, and if possible, I would also allow for any questions at the end. So if you have any questions, please keep them to the end, and if we have time, we will go through them then. So, food, enhancing the visitor experience. So fresh cooked foods in-house not only improve nutritional value, but also contribute to patient recovery and visitor satisfaction. Offering familiar, comforting meals can reduce stress and promote healing. Replicating patient menus in retail outlets helps normalise hospital food and creates a sense of inclusivity and transparency. So the first question to Erica. Erica, how do patients respond to seeing their meals available in retail outlets?
Patients at our trust at Stepping Hill, they've responded very positively to seeing familiar meals on the wards available in our retail outlet. It creates a sense of continuity, reassurance, especially for the long stay patients. They might be transitioning between care and independence. It also helps break down the stigma around hospital food. A lot of our customers, visitors and patients, we always get commended on our menu choices, on our theme days, etc. And the high quality of food and the affordability that they can buy that. And the visibility reinforces the trust in the catering service and gives patients confidence in the nutritional and the culinary standards of their meals.
Okay, so by having the offer available to both in the retail and the patients, it gives that confidence to the staff who are on the wards that the food that they're having and the food the patient having is of equal quality.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Lauren, coming to you, how do you go about getting feedback from visitors around the offer that you serve in your hospital retail outlets?
Yeah, so at MediRest we provide a provision for staff and visitor restaurants, which is really key to our package of services, and we have a system that we use which is digital kind of customer feedback system, and we gather that in a couple of ways. So we would have kind of iPad stands within our environments whereby people can leave feedback, just like you see when you're in a theme park and you've got the little smiley face stations around. So we have a similar kind of system which asks short series of questions, and if you would like to go into the extended questions, you can. And then if you would prefer to do that later, we also have a lot of collateral with QR codes whereby they can use their own smartphone device to fill that questionnaire in later. And that enables us to get kind of live data feedback on a dashboard that the unit manager can access, and also we can access as a central team. And that also then informs kind of trends, what people are enjoying, what they're perhaps not enjoying so much, if there's anything we need to improve, and that kind of really gives us a lot of valuable insight into our offer.
Perfect. And I think just for clarification for the audience, so Erica at Stepping Hill, your fresh cooked patient and retail. Most MediRests will have a Steamplicity offer for patients, and then in the retail space, what does that look like? Is that all fresh cook? What kind of offer do we have?
Yeah, so within the NHS, we actually have what we call a hybrid solution for our retail. So we buy in the complex element of dishes from our partners at the Cuisine Centre. They've got a stand here today if you'd like to go and talk to them. But they do a range of products called Medley. They're actually a multi-portion, pre-cooked product. So it enables us to buy in the complex elements and actually utilise more of our catering labour in kind of execution, finishing dishes. So it might be that we purchase in a chili con carne, for example, and then we use that to make burritos. So the catering team on site and the chefs are actually making those burritos, serving them. It's how we present it on the counter and the execution. It just gives them more time in that element instead.
Great, thank you for clarifying that. Raouf, how important is the authenticity of the food and the authenticity of the offer that you give?
It is really important. When you cook authentic food, you cook with passion. It's part of training the chef to produce a wholesome food that they think and can relate to. Having that authenticity translate into passion, into finished dish that everybody can enjoy. You train the chefs well, then they do their homework, they do their exercises, they research the dishes, they research component of the dishes, they know what they're serving. That knowledge translates then to the serving staff, translate to the customers. Knowing the ingredient, knowing the origin of the ingredient, where they come from, knowing the dish itself, why it is cooked this way, why it's presented this way, is really important. It's all translated in the end product. The end product is always the same. It's consistency also.
Okay. And if anybody has social media, then you can see from Raouf's photos that they put on social media that follows through to everything that they really do and look for. So, and I think all three of you touched on a little bit there. You touched on how important the staff are in this. So, staff morale and well-being is possibly the backbone of quality catering. A motivated and well-supported catering team is essential for delivering consistently high quality meals. Investing in staff well-being through training, recognition, and a positive kitchen culture directly impacts food quality and service. So, first question is for Erica and then Lauren. So, you can get prepared, Lauren, when I ask this question. So, Erica, what initiatives are in place to support catering staff well-being and their morale?
So, we've just about a few months ago we've implemented like monthly team huddles with the staff, so the staff can share their feedback. Recognition boards, we have digital screens in the kitchen, always commending the staff, on any accolades, any awards, even on everyday, what can you say, like when the patients, they'll receive chocolates, cards, thank you, the food was, so everything is shared on the screens for the staff. They're involved with any recipes, we get them all, everybody, not just the chefs, the catering assistants, we ask everybody for their input, we'll do trials, that everyone will try the food, any new menu, the new dishes, etc. So yeah, we just try and involve them because without your team, we can't carry on and raising the standards, where we want to the bar we need to get to.
Fine, thanks. So, Lauren, same kind of question to you. What initiatives are in place at MediRest for improving that, supporting those catering staff within the retail area, and also how do you go around maybe monitoring their staff well-being and their morale?
Yeah, so we have also got huddle boards within all of our catering environments, and we have at site level they would have buzz sessions every morning ahead of service, gather feedback, talk through the offer so everyone's comfortable. In terms of recognition, we also have things in place whereby we have a kind of team that go out and do site visits and pick up on any recognition awards, and we would provide kind of rewards for that. So we do have a monthly Teams call as well with those teams, and we highlight any best practice or any fantastic events that may have happened. We provide vouchers to the teams that are really succeeding. But more formally, we also offer training, upskilling, apprenticeships, and we really do try to encourage our teams to be part of, upskilling themselves, and of course being part of NHS Chef of the Year as well.
Thank you. Great link there. Wonderful. Different question to Raouf. So how does team involvement in menu development or retail innovation affect and improve staff engagement?
Any menu, so we start from the beginning and train the team on the basic. We start from the basic training to the higher training. Then you trust your team to develop the menu. You guide them after that, but in the same way is you trust them to express themselves. You give them the parameter where they can sit in, what the dish is, so the feedback from the customers encourage the team to develop their own menu. I trust my chefs to produce menus, and then we do a tasting session, we do feedback session with everybody. It is really important also to translate that to the passion of the team and offer them something else. It's a progress. It's part of their progress. So your commis chef, your sous chef, aiming higher, aiming to do that. And really important because you can see the pride. So we do put the names of the chefs in the menus if they come up with the new dishes and all of that, to give them that sense of belonging to the team, and at the same time it's to make them more proud of what they're doing. It is really encouraging because everybody expresses themselves and everybody's got a place in the team. All my staff is trained across different sections. So the pastry chef will be the head chef tomorrow. The commis chef will do the breakfast. They're all interconnected.
So important to ensure that you have that robust support network for your teams and also future planning for those who come down the line.
It is. It's kind of progression plan for the team. It's upskilling. It's give them the confidence, the knowledge to progress. It's always really refreshing when you see the team progress.
Okay, thank you. Could you pass that down to Erica, because I'm going to have a follow-up question. Because at your site, you fresh cook for staff, but you buy ready-prepared meals. So, Erica, it's a similar question there for you about development of menus, etc. Because as you fresh cook for both patients and do you change any of the dishes? Are they adapted slightly for the retail area to the patient area? Thinking along the lines that we have a minimum amount of protein that we must put into patients' dishes. We don't necessarily have that in the staff retail area. So do you make changes and adaptations to what your retail offer is?
We do. Basically, because we did, we asked the question within the trust with the staff, because obviously it's not good for the staff to see the patient meals in retail, but also they wanted something different as well. They're there 5, 6, 7 days a week, and it can get a bit boring for them. So we developed a 4-week menu in the retail. So with their feedback, we've implemented, a lot of recipe menus that they've asked for. Plus, we'll use, recently we've been working with Eat Curious, because we do get a lot of demand, especially on the salad bar, the in-house salad bar for protein, more protein salads, etc. Okay. So, yeah.
Okay, that's fine. Thank you. So I'm going to move on from staffing. We're going to move on to the physical space and the importance of the retail environment as a hub for the hospital and a well-being space for staff and visitors. I'm going to go to all three of you. We're going to start with you, Lauren, and then I'm going to come to you, Raouf, and then Erica, so you can formulate your answers. Unfortunately, Lauren, you could go first. You remember what I said? Remember what the question was?
So the physical space is really important, particularly for us where we are obviously a service provider to the NHS. So in collaboration with our clients, it's always quite high on their agenda. They're looking to us in ways of how we can support staff wellbeing, how we can invest and support in creating a hub for the hospital. So where we do have those relationships and we have a contract length that allows, we do really like to invest in the restaurant space. We see it as a really key service that's part of our wider package of FM services, and it's somewhere where we can really add value. So one example is last year with our client at Peterborough Hospital. We actually invested over £500,000 in their restaurant space. It was, a large investment, but it enabled us to provide several things. So it made the space multi-purpose. It enabled us to create versatile seating spaces, a separate staff welfare room, meeting pods, a really nice dressed outside space, and a new servery that could provide a variety of food offers, including value propositions. And we have actually seen that it's driven 30% sales increase at that site and over 200% NPS score on their staff feedback survey. So it's been a really successful case study for us to demonstrate that if you do have the investment available, that it will drive footfall and revenue. And it's a fantastic space. They're really lucky to have it, but it's something that's really important to us.
Thank you very much, Raouf. So coming to you, very, very similar question. I've been to your site. I'm aware that it's not the most enormous staff area, but it is very welcoming and very homely. So how do you ensure that that is maintained?
It starts from designing the space. When we got the space, why I inherited the space, is we work what we have. But it's really important to have clear signage, clear defined offers, clear counters. It's part of the customer journey. Customers can navigate the counters, can navigate the space really comfortably. They know where everything is positioned, where the dishes is, where they can pick up things without waiting. We all know all the nurses and doctors, they've got 30 minutes break. They had to walk to a restaurant. Usually the restaurant is near the M25 or around a mile away. It's typical, but making it easier for them to navigate and get to you is really important. And then it is the staff will make the space. How the staff interact with the space and the customer is really important. The staff know where everything is placed, the customer knows where they are. It's all pushing for a welcoming space. We don't turn anybody down, everybody's welcome, the space is there for everybody to enjoy. Could it be a meeting, could it be a huddle, could it be anything? We encourage also team to come in for a coffee, a cake. No, everybody's welcome. So it's a multi-use space. It's not just for catering. We use it for everything else around the trust.
Okay, thanks. Erica, coming to you. A similar kind of question. We're just sort of maybe looking and taking some of Raouf's points there and elaborating on around that the space, whilst being an area for visitors to recuperate away from the bedside and the issues that they're having with the care of their patients, their relatives, to also being a workspace that teams can interact. How do you deal with that? How do you look at how you can have both a workspace for staff, but also a recuperation space for visitors?
I think it's the timings as well. So like obviously 12 till 2, it's fast and furious, that's the main time the staff are there, and most of the patients that are in at that time do stay on the wards, the visitors stay on the wards with the families to encourage them to eat, at the bedside. And then so we see a pattern, we have the 2 hours of frantic frenzy with the staff, and then before and afterwards, that's when we get most of the visitors. We also have a fabulous outside area. We've got a new pergola, which we do trends, new food trends and everything. So, yeah.
I think it's really important to make, great. You will see in your trust, you'll have a small space possibly in the wrong area of the hospital, as Raouf alluded to. it's making best use of that space. And I'm going to come to the next bit, but I just want to point out also at one of your hospitals, Lauren, where they have the pods, the separate pods, where people are just going to have a meeting in a pod and still be within the restaurant space, but be separate from relatives now. I think that's really important, making use of space. So the final 10 minutes we come to now. So I'm going to look at the future of retail catering as a model and the challenges that brings. And there's 4 subjects. You can choose any subject you want to talk about on these. So look at the importance of brands, 24/7 solutions, healthy eating, and the push and towards plant-rich foods. So I'm going to start with you, Lauren, and you can take any of those subjects that you want. 24/7, importance of brands, healthy eating, or plant-rich, and then Raouf and Erica pick up where you want. Thank you.
Thanks. So I think I'll pick up the one about brands, if that's okay, because not only do we have our what we call in-house brands that we operate across MediRest, which is our Wellspring restaurant for the staff and visitor restaurant spaces, but we do also see there being a time and a place where brands are appropriate. And I think especially when you've got visitors that are and staff that are looking for a bit of a break and an escape from the clinical environment, brands can serve really well when you're looking for a bit of familiarity, especially if you're in a highly stressed situation. You just need to step away from the situation you might be in. If you see a Costa coffee in the main entrance, you can go and have your regular latte and slice of cake and actually just take a break away. So I do think there is definitely a time and place for brands that is appropriate. And also it can in some cases enable us to lengthen our service times as well. So whilst your staff and visitor restaurant may close, you can extend the opening hours of your Costa, for example, or implement 24/7 solutions like smart vending and things like that, which we also have available.
Okay, thank you. Raouf, are you going to take the next one?
Yes, I'll take the 24/7. I think it's been talked about a lot, but it's really still we still didn't get the right solution. I think we're still far away from what we want to do because all the pressure we got. So do you do 24 hours fresh cooking, and that's involving labour and involving cost while we're all pressed on cost? Do you go automated services? Do you go mini market? There is a lot of different solutions, but I think every trust is different. It's really important also when I talk about 24/7, if you don't need automated service, is what's inside them fridges. Because I visit a lot of hospitals, part of going around and checking what other people doing and all of that. And it's a lot of confectionery, a lot of sandwiches, a lot of takeaways. And you think, what can we do better? What can we improve on? What can we offer differently? Most of them also, there is main courses that's frozen or reheated. So having the right balance in that offer 24/7 and having just what is right for you, what's right for the sites, about shifts works and who's overnights and the placement or where they are in the hospitals. Are they in any department? The footfall and that. Because it's still an investment. As a trust, it's still an investment. If you're going to go vending, you can outsource it. You can run it in-house. I choose to run it in-house for a lot of reasons. I've got total control what we offer in them fridges. Most of the product is handmade, homemade, on-site, then labelled and put in the fridges. We control the turnover. We control what goes in them. And it's really important to me that everything is fresh. We don't fill them to the rims, but they've enough that the patient, customers, and end user will enjoy them.
Okay, thank you. Yeah. So I'm going to come over to Erica, but I think we can all agree that 24/7 feeding for staff and visitors is a complex issue with many, many different solutions. Erica, so you can talk whatever you want, but if you want to focus on the future and plant-rich and healthy eating, you're more than welcome to.
Yeah, I was going to touch on plant-based food.
Perfect, thank you.
Because at the minute, we're promoting it at our trust. We had an event last Friday, which went really, really well. And it's just trying to help to educate the staff members or the visitors around the products that are available, what we're working with. It's allergen free, you know, there's lots of aspects around it. And we're also, obviously, we are currently working on our eating meals because we make those in-house. There's a big project going on there, and there is a demand for plant-based level food as well. So obviously we can use these products in there. But as well, reducing your carbon footprint, etc.
So there is a growing demand for plant-based, plant-forward, plant-rich, whichever way we describe it today. And it's ensuring that that is available to everybody when they can have it. There is a balance in finding that substitute for meat, those meat substitutes, and also whole foods, and ensuring we get that balance right. Okay, we have 4 minutes left, so we got time for maybe 1 or maybe 2 questions, depending on how long the question is. And if anybody wants to ask a question, please make it a question, not a comment or a point. Marcel, question. No. Questions only. Questions only. Rahul, question.
Thank you. Just to Erica, for the plant-based food that you have got in your retail segment, did you find any challenges from staff or visitors? And if any, then how did you manage those challenges? Get the buy-in?
Yeah.
Okay, great question. Do you get it? Did you get all the questions? Challenges? How do you get the buy-in? I think we'll go for that question, go all the way down the panel, and that will sort us out. Thank you.
Yeah. So, yeah, obviously, there's that stigma, oh, plant-based, ooh. So, the way we work with it, we just do lots of pop-ups, free food. Who doesn't like free food? And it generates the interest. And then once they try the product, the dish that we are creating, they're quite surprised that, oh, it does taste nice. It doesn't matter if there's meat in there or not meat in there, you know. And then, obviously, we call it Chinese whispers, word of mouth. They all start telling each other, and then, you know, and then it's becoming a lot more popular. Very rare, if there's a day where we don't have a plant-based dish on the hot plate. Oh, but, you know, there's nothing on today. So it is getting popular.
I'm going to be controversial. We'll remove the stigma out of it. I don't call it by name. It's still a food. It's still a dish that we cooked. So once you start labeling food, that's when you put people off. They don't know where they stand, what's the ingredient in it. So call it by name, call the dish whatever you cooked it, and then customers will buy into it. They will see the ethnicity of it, they'll see the originality of it. But the minute you start labeling it plant-based, you're going to put half of your customers off. I'm in for choice. We're all for the choice, and that choice have to be there. What's the difference between plant-based food and any other dish? It's still cooked by passionate chefs, put a lot of cares into it, and it's just food. It's still food, it's still awesome food. It's still a delicious food. So removing that stigma is really, really important, and that's what I believe in strongly.
Yeah, we've also had our fair challenges around plant-based. We do have plant-based options on every day, and you're right, it's all about choice. So, we did try meat-free Mondays for a while. That we got quite a lot of negative response around that because the people that wanted to eat meat didn't have a choice. So we've tried to strike that balance. And one of the other challenges that we actually came across was at a particular trust where the trust dietitians actually pointed out that we needed to ensure that all plant-based options had enough protein source. So that's something our culinary team are now very kind of prepared for, ensuring that we're including lots of beans and pulses and other sources of protein within those dishes. So that's something that we really have been looking out for.
Thank you very much.